Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a Sunday sermon. Each week, we try to bring you a message of faith and devotion, and ours are a little different in that all of our messages are brought to you from the other side. I've been trying to bring you messages of the archangels. Very few people understand them. I know I don't totally understand it. There's well over 30 archangels. The ancients named some of them, but many of them they didn't realize they were talking to different spirits. So today we're going to talk to one that you haven't heard much about. Her name is Camael, and she is an archangel of peacemakers. Now, she certainly got her hands full right now with all the problems going on in the world, wars. So I thought she'd be a good angel to hear from this morning. So thank you for listening. Please tell your friends about us, and the angel is ready to speak to you. Hello, everyone. Yes, as Barry said, there are many, many of us. Now I know there are many people out there that don't believe in angels. Well, we're real. We're a different type of spiritual energy. We try to help guide as best we can. We try to do many different things. Now, God has provided many ways of guidance for the human soul. As you all probably know, you come back with a life plan, and that lays out what you hope to accomplish in an incarnate life. Once a soul is born, then it's on its own. Now, we will continue to try to guide you. From the day you were born, guides, angels, family spirits, everybody tries to help you. Nobody is going to try to detract you from your life plan. Now, there's a lot of evil energies, and that's what we try to protect you from. We want you to succeed. God wants you to succeed. If you're going to follow his path and understand what he wants of you, you're going to need a lot of guidance throughout your life. And that's what he sent us back to do. You see, angels have been around since creation. Ancient humans would get messages from us. We might show ourselves to them in form. But it was incredibly complicated for them. They wouldn't know which energy they were speaking with. They would assign names, but they never really knew who they were speaking with. When we are on other planets, we have different names. We don't really care what you call us. What we care about is that you follow our advice. I was given the name Camael. Very few people have heard of me. Now, there are many that read a lot about angels, and they probably do. But I spoke to the ancients, and they didn't realize really what I was speaking of. Some did, but most didn't. Humans call on me because I do have some abilities as a peacemaker. Oh, you're probably thinking, I'm a terrible failure right now. They're probably thinking I'm a terrible failure. I'm a terrible failure through the ages. Because there's always been wars, violence. Ancient times were some of the most violent times conceivable. Your world wars were absolutely terrible. Millions of lives were taken. You see, a great lesson that all humans have to learn is how to coexist and get along with others. Now, we can guide you, but we cannot force you to make life's important decisions. We can keep telling you that you need to get along with others, but there are people that don't want to have any part of getting along with other individuals. They want to feel that they're so powerful that they can do what they want. You can see it throughout history. That's why history is so important. People should study what took place in the past. Humans made huge amounts of mistakes through history. It's cost them lives, it's cost them livelihoods, civilizations. Every one of the important civilizations throughout time ceased to exist. Now, I try to help them. I try to tell them, you don't want to fight with those people because they're not going to take it. The results of violence can be devastating. Violence has destroyed civilizations through the years. It would be so much easier if everyone just decided to get along. It's that simple. If the Romans had gotten along with the tribes or their neighbors, they could have advanced. They had everything they needed. We had given them some technologies. We taught them how to live in sanitary conditions, how to bring water, how to transport it so they could use it for their crops. We gave them a lot of information. Some of the information they used to make war. Now, they did have to protect themselves, but they tried to conquer. They tried to basically conquer the known world. And their neighbors, they didn't want any part of it. They decided they would fight back. I tried to tell the Romans to get along. I tried to tell the tribes to get along, but they all ignored my advice. Because you see, they got free will. They wanted to use free will to make war. And there's never a good thing comes out of war. It's so devastating. We watch from over here as the parents of the individuals being killed over in Europe right now. It's devastating for them. The grief in the warring countries is overwhelming. Leaders don't seem to care because they're not being affected, really. If they lose, they'll be affected. But their egos just jump up and take control, and they feel that they're not going to lose. Well, somebody always loses. Whenever there's violence, both sides lose. The grief that is caused by war, by taking the deaths of the fighters on both sides, it's overwhelming. Each time you look at TV and you see those dead bodies laying on the field, there are families that are grieving. Those men have wives, they have children, they have mothers, they have fathers. War is taking those young individuals from their families, and those families are being torn apart. Leaders don't seem to care. They're going to draft more. They're going to send more people into battle to be killed. The long-term effects of war are devastating for both sides. I try to influence the leaders. They ignore me. They ignore their guides. They ignore common sense. They think that might makes right, but it doesn't. Power should be used to help individuals, not kill them. I want you to think of how businesses can be similar to wars. You can get into battles with competitors. You cut prices. You destroy both the businesses. If you would simply get along, price your items fairly. If you raise your prices unfairly, then eventually people will stop buying your product. You see, when you're raising prices unfairly, you're at war with the people that buy your product. There are many that are really hurting right now. The economies of the world are suffering terribly. If the companies of the world would price their items fairly, then they would not be at war with their customers. I'm going to use the pharmaceuticals, for example. People that get sick now are facing incredible costs. They think that insurance is the answer, but it's not, because somebody always has to pay. You pay higher for your insurance. If the drug companies would fairly price their items, they could make a good profit. The sick, the ill, the people that really need those items would be able to afford them. Pharmaceutical companies are at war with the insurance companies. They're at war with all the people that are ill. They think they can win that war because they control the products, the drugs. They control what sick people need. They need to learn to coexist with the sick, to help them, not to take advantage of them. If people would follow my advice and my energies, then everyone would get along. Everyone would do what is right for others. And everyone would understand the golden rule. Ah, you see, I'm going to work that in as well. Every time Jesus speaks to you, he tells you that he wants you to do unto others, you'd have them do unto you. Hello, pharmaceuticals. Did you hear that? Do you enjoy it when people raise the prices of your raw materials for no reason? No. The golden rule, doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, fits every situation. There is no exception. That is why God sent that message back with all of his prophets that started all of the great religions. Coexist, love, get along. Those are the things that I try to have people do. I try to make peace between people that are fighting. I try to make peace between people that are at each other's throats, that want to show violence because they can't win their argument. I am a peacemaker. We have sent humans back with life plans that make them peacemakers as well. Your police, respect them. Now, there are bad individuals everywhere. You need to overlook them. Look at the individuals that are doing so much good in the communities. You currently have people that are trying to defund police. That is a terrible thing. You will find out what anarchy truly is. You are seeing it in some of your cities, and you seem to not be able to understand. Just as I am a peacemaker with energies, there have to be individuals that act as peacemakers to preserve the laws of the community. Everyone needs to get along, but there are many people that will never get along in civilized communities. They will break the rules, they will hurt others, they will show violence. Peacemakers are required to keep those people in check. Hopefully, there will be a time that those people learn the lesson of the golden rule as well. Sometimes they need to sit behind the walls of prisons to truly understand that. That's free will. So I want to thank you today. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for telling others about my messages. But I would especially like to thank you for making peace with your enemies. That is what I work at. That is what all of the angels that are with me work at. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you show hatred, they're going to show hatred back. Show anger, they'll show it back. Violence, same thing. Pretty simple. Live a good life, follow God's rules, and all will be well. So thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, another great message. The angels are very real, guys. I can tell you, I've seen them, I talk to them, and I bring their words to you. And I thank you for listening. Next week, we're going to bring back Simon the Zealot. We had him on an earlier channeling. Incredible message. And he wants to come back. He's very zealous about it. Follow God's words. Bring others to him. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. Goodbye, and we'll see you again next week.